All right, hello everybody. We're showing off Archipelago Racing. This is going to be a 2v2 team-based race between A Link to the Past players. On the left, we got Kate and Kippy as Team 1, and then on the right, we have MegaKidIcarus and Eudaimonistic as Team 2. The way multi-world works is the players all have their own seed, but they send items to each other. So Kate will be finding items in his world for Kippy and for himself, and vice versa, but they will not be interacting with the other team. Both runners will be running the same seeds, so one of them will have one seed kind of corresponding to one of the players on the other side to keep it fair.
Yep, in this case, Kate F2 and MegaKidIcarus will be having the same seed, and Mudkippy and Eudaimonistic will be having the same seed.
Yeah, and there are a little bit of mystery options baked into their settings. So Kippy and Kate don't necessarily have identical settings, but they were kept fairly tame so that they won't be too drastically different. And it looks like we're off.
Yep. Mostly starting at Link's house, but Kate opting for Sanctuary. And we've already seen everybody going their own different directions.
All right, so Kippy is going for a quick check of this island. I missed what was on it, but it is a check you can look at, but you can't get yet. And it looks like he has some kind of shop sanity setting as well. So looking into that shop as his first check after Link's house, picking up some heart containers for his teammate.
Looks like Eudai has gone into the secret passage, picking up the items there. Oh, Kate is in the Houlihan room.
Yes, early money is early money is important, and when you have shop sanity as an option, because you might find some progression in a shop and you want to get it as soon as possible if it's important. It could help your team. Otherwise, you might have to come back for it later and waste a little time. We see MegaKidIcarus doing the same thing.
Now Mudkippy is checking the secret passage. And looks like Kate is on their way to do the same.
Yeah, Uncle Start is a common play. It gets you early resources. You have access to a tree pull. So when you pull the tree, a certain set of items will come out of it. And you really want to find rupees or bombs coming out of that tree pull. That gives you a little bit more access to the early checks. We also get this bush crab from Eudaimonistic, and that bush crab will also be giving red rupees to Kippy when he checks it. And that's also an important thing to know when you've got shop sanity.
Yeah, the bush crab gives red rupees. That can be an easy source for rupees whenever you need them. Yeah, they're always going to be in the same spots in the world.
Yeah, there's a few. And okay, so the top players have bombs. That's also really good. Bombs will give you just a resource to start with. It's often your first weapon. It's also going to unlock some doors, like the Chicken Hut, for example, will have an item in it that you need a bomb for. Back of Blind's Hut has one, and Cackwell has one. So you want 3 going into Kakariko, ideally.
Kate just checked which dungeon is at Hyro Castle because it looks like Dungeon Shuffle is on.
All right, Dungeon Shuffle. That's a fun setting. It's an Archipelago exclusive. It was around for a standalone entrance fork, but this is something you can set as only dungeons being shuffled amongst themselves. There are different ways to shuffle the dungeons, and I don't think we know which setting they have chosen for Dungeon Shuffle. One of them allows for cross-world connections between dungeons. There is one that keeps it simpler so that the 4 entrance dungeons are always connected to each other and shuffled among the other 4 entrance dungeons.
Like, again, our first players in Kakariko. There's a lot of tricks you can find there. It especially helps to have bombs because there are a few locked behind bombable walls.
Okay, so nothing really good in this shop in Kakariko. Players don't generally want shields. They don't do anything. The bottle and lumberjack for the player ones, they will not be getting that. I imagine there are 4 bottles. You only need one of them to unlock one check. Otherwise, they're just a safety item. And there is a lamp in Blind's hut being sent to player 2. So that's a nice early item for one of the players. And gloves as well. Half magic and ether. Very good. Early Blind's hut. Giving the runners some options to explore further.
Gloves is definitely one of the most important items for navigation in the overworld.
Yeah, Eudaimonistic does not have access to that bomb bush crab that the upper players have, so he had to farm the 50-50 bomb rock above Kakariko Village, picking up just one. In multi-world, you don't necessarily rely on finding your own bombs in your own dense checks, so having only one means that he might have to go and get bombs again somewhere else. And with Shop Sanity being on, you can't guarantee that there's bombs available to you in a shop like there normally would be.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest changes in shop shuffling is what you could normally reliably go to for bombs or for potions. You can't necessarily go to anymore because they can be something else entirely.
All right, so Kippy has checked the bottle merchant and is communicating with his teammate about whether Kate Sith wants the item on there or not. It does cost money, and money is a precious resource with these settings. And Archipelago allows you to check the bottle merchant when you have hints enabled, and the bottle merchant will tell you what he's selling and not force you to buy it. Kind of like in the vanilla game where he says, you know, I have a bottle you can buy, hold it up for everyone to see, but you can also say no. All right, this is a good bomb.
Is going into the one hut in the corner, picking up some more bombs.
One of your most reliable sources of bombs. It requires a bomb to open, so you do want to come in with one bomb. There's a 50-50 nearby in the bushes, but it's a little bit hard to farm when you don't have a quick reset.
Yuda trying to pass the chicken from one room to the other. Mudkippy trying the same. It doesn't accomplish anything. This looks nice.
Alright, one thing that happens in Shop Sanity is shields are everywhere because a lot of the shops in the vanilla game have shields in them, and those non-progressive shields get shuffled in the pool, so a lot of players will end up on fighter shield just for that reason. It's kind of hard to avoid, but actually getting an upgraded shield, those still require the normal shield item that's found in the randomizer. Okay, so we got MegaKidIcarus going after Mini Moldworm Cave. This is another item dense location. He has a sword that he can use to kill them, so he doesn't have to rely on his 4 bombs to one-shot the Moldworms. Taking it very slow, making sure he doesn't get bopped. It's really easy to take damage and get thrown into the pit, and before you know it, you're dead. So you don't want to miss out on these items. Alright, so Maze Race has the Moon Pearl for player 1 at player 2's world, and Kippy will be getting that as well for Kate Sith. So Kate Sith and MegaKidIcarus both have their Moon Pearls. Very important part of Darkworld access.
Beyond the Moon Pearl is either